our game is Project Paper, a 2D fighting strategy game where you and up to 3 of your friends can duke it out online using the Unity web player or the PC. So I'll take you through a quick run-through of how a game might go. First, you have a selection of traps that you can place onto the battlefield, and these traps will be hidden from the other players. Then, you and the opponent fight in the arena, trying to vie for supremacy as you try to defeat each other both with your traps and the stage hazards built into the arena. Something a little bit different from more traditional combo-based fighting games is that players have hidden information in their traps that only they can see, and so they can spring it just at the right time to destroy the opposition. And to do this, they use positioning-based combat, which allows them to relocate their opponents with a hook and use a melee attack to push them into the traps to keep them on their feet. However, one thing we wanted to change is that players, after being defeated, don't really have much to do while their friends duke it out. So, after you're defeated, you can still place traps to try and encourage the other players to be cautious and to defeat them and gain revenge.
For the art direction, we're going for everything to be in paper texture. The theme is imagination and make-believe. So at the top left corner, there's going to be a screen of, or actually a cutscene of an artist who's actually developing this book. And in the center, he's creating these paper cutscenes of all these stages and arenas. At the far bottom left corner, there's a comic strip that will introduce on the website to introduce all the characters and their backstories and powers.
Okay, sweet. So let's actually get into some live demo. Have these 3 players fight it out. That's fine. So each player can create their own custom name and a server name to play on, and you'll be started off in a pregame lobby where you can actually move around and mess around with your mechanics so that you can get a feel for the game before playing, and also to screw around and mess around with your opponents. So you can hook the environment and you can hook other players, so give that guy a hook. And hooking other players will bring them to you and then allow you to melee attack afterwards. Okay, let's get into an actual game. So, each player will be locked and have a short period of time where they can place down their traps before the game starts. So we'll see that our main player places down a boulder trap and a gravity field. And the gravity field will launch other players into the air, and the boulder will kill anybody that it rolls over. However, you have to wait a short time before you can activate these so that other players can move around. Then, each player gains access to use traps, and your goal is to crush the other players with your traps, such as like that, either by crushing them with them or using the stage hazards to finish them off. And so with 3 or 4 players, it starts to get pretty chaotic, so you have to watch out. However, after a certain period of time, the number of traps will start to die down a little bit, and each player will have to go find more traps in the arena to refill. In addition to being able to place them before the game, you can also place them during the game, so that you can continue to inflict damage upon players even after you've run out of your initial traps. And something unique about our game is that because the world is made out of paper, certain powers and effects will have an effect on the battlefield directly. So, for instance, if you shoot a fireball at a platform, because it's made out of paper, it'll catch on fire, and you can use this to catch people off guard if they're standing on that platform and it happens to catch on fire. So we'll just play through a couple different arenas. We have some different backgrounds, each with different stage layouts. We plan to have different backgrounds that have different unique mechanics tied into them. And so, let's see, another unique thing is that because you can kill players after you're dead, after the final player has been defeated, all the other players have a chance to try and take vengeance on the player who's won. If the last player survives for a certain amount of time, then they'll be awarded extra points for living. And if the other players kill him, then they'll deny him his extra points. So there's incentive to use your powers after death to prevent the other players from scoring more points. You can also just use them to troll other players if you feel like that. there's quite a few combos that you can pull off in the game using your positioning-based mechanics, such as pulling people through spikes, mailing people into the boulder, stunning them while the boulder or fireball goes through. Okay, and so we have a winner. Our host actually won. So for the future, we're looking to add more of the paper type effects that the fireball and other type of powers had, such as destroying the environment, altering it, or leaving marks on the environment. If you look closely after this bomb explodes that Jason placed, it'll leave a char mark in the background. So we're really looking to emphasize the fact that this world is made out of paper, and you can destroy it and bend it to your will, or it'll have artistic effects on the world. So that's another one of our traps, is that it's a sticky bomb, and you can transfer it up to other players, which is great, because you can hook them in and it'll transfer it immediately, and after they're hooked and disoriented, you can run away, but you can also take out other players with it. Oh, and I don't know if you just saw there too, we want to have power interactions. So you saw that the fireball went into the wind and redirected it. So we want to have a lot more of those kind of interactions where like the world really comes alive and things happen as you think they would. We could probably just play one more. So all the other remaining players are trying to get the final player, and they got him, so they gained vengeance. He doesn't gain extra points. And although we have 2 more levels, I think we're good in demonstrating the concept. And so we'll end here. Thanks a lot, everybody, for checking out our game, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night.